Looking for a great home-cooked meal and you don't have time to prepare it? Well, your solution is here. Mad Mac Catering. The food is made with love and with a touch of soul. Contact us at 704-516-4334 or on Twitter at SmadMac or the website www.madmacs.net. That's www.madmacs.net.
Hey, and we are back. It's your boy Wildcard Mar. We back in the building. Detroit Melly Mel.
What's good?
Yeah, welcome back. Sorry for the technical difficulties. You know, hey, we just trying to put on the show, man.
Right. Trying to get it right.
Yeah, things happen. You know, shit happens. But before we went on break, we pretty much was talking about, you know, just the first Sunday without sports. I'm sorry, not without sports, but without NFL.
Right.
Pretty much the most popular sport that everybody watches of all the major sports. But there was some basketball yesterday. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm a Lakers head. So Anthony Davis got hurt.
I saw that, man.
He already missed a few days earlier in the week because he wanted to rest him because of, his Achilles.
Yes.
You know, he wanted to rest it. And when I first heard that, I'm like, usually when you trying to rest because of Achilles strain, you know, that don't sound too good to begin with. I mean, didn't that happen with KD?
It did.
Like
He's out for a while.
And then in the finals, snapped it.
Right.
But just the way that Anthony Davis was walking off the court, I mean, I ain't no medical doctor.
No.
Because I saw it live, and I saw when Kobe did his.
Right.
I saw that one live. They kind of did that same walk, so they both had a free throw. Ironically, you know, stayed in, shot their free throws, and then, you know, kind of stood there at the line, and then, you know, somebody had to foul, and the way he was walking off that court, I mean, like I said, I ain't, you know, I'm a regular Joe Schmo. I ain't no money man, you know.
Right.
I ain't no doctor. I ain't no MD. I ain't Mekhi Phifer on ER. That ain't me. You know, hey.
I think it's interesting because I think you had brought up the point too a couple of shows ago. You talked about him staying healthy, Anthony Davis staying healthy and stuff like that. And now it's interesting. Now here again, he's hurt. You know, he having durability issues, and you know, without Anthony Davis, it's gonna be. I can't see them beating Brooklyn. The test gonna come. I think they play Brooklyn 2 more games.
Okay, but it's funny that you bring up Brooklyn because I went on record in saying that I see Lakers and Brooklyn in the finals.
Right,
but you know, KD's missed some time. Mm-hmm. He's missed. Now it's a couple of games since he's going to miss because of hamstring soreness or something like that.
Right.
But other than that, he's missed games just because of this whole COVID contract tracing.
That's true.
And then Kyrie missed his time for his little sabbatical situation. Mm-hmm. And then you get the trade for James, but it hasn't really been a lot of games that all three of them has played together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so their jail situation still is taking time.
Right.
And then you take that with Anthony Davis possibly missing some time. Mm-hmm. You know, those are two different teams. I'm not really so certain if my pick is going to happen that we're going to get to the finals.
I think they'll get to the finals. Because I don't see too many people in the East beating Brooklyn.
No,
you know what I'm saying? I mean,
but you know the East is always kind of just anybody.
Look strong.
Milwaukee's always going to be.
Milwaukee always going to be in the conversation. You know, but I just think like Brooklyn is going to find a way to put it all together. It's just too much talent there. I mean, you know, there's been some trade rumors and stuff like that. You know, where Brooklyn go after Beal.
He's already saying I don't think he's going. I think he's content staying in Washington for some reason.
Then a few other people, Andre Drummond. When they go after Andre Drummond.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for a minute.
So you have a few things too down the line that may help strengthen that team. So when one of the big three is out, you got somebody there to help, take up that spot until they come back. Barring any injuries or any COVID, any COVID incidents, I don't see nobody beat them. Now, going back to the Lakers, I believe that without Anthony Davis, they can't beat Brooklyn. They need Anthony Davis. They need Anthony Davis and LeBron are the backbone of that team, but together they the championship for that team. I think without either one, it'd be hard or close to impossible for them to win a championship.
I mean, it really depends how long Anthony Davis is going to be out.
Right.
If this is really a serious Achilles injury, I mean, that's a whole different team. And LeBron, even though we know of his greatness, we know how great he is.
Right.
We know that he's pretty much the GOAT of his time. We get that. We understand.
Right.
What comes with his name. But this is 36, Bron. And don't get me wrong, he's looking phenomenal.
Yeah, he's looking good.
But to pretty much try to turn back the hands of time when he was in those early Cleveland days.
Turn back
but that's a different ask of your body at 36 to do what he was doing in his early 20s, carrying the franchise to finals.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think he needs Anthony Davis. Well, they need each other, but I'm saying since Anthony's the one that's hurt right now,
yes,
he needs Anthony Davis to lean back on, when that 36 body kicks in and say, hey, look, nigga, we need to sit this down for a second. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's already been talking about trying to manage his minutes to begin with.
Right.
Coming into the season. So, I mean, you're talking about pretty much maxing it out. I mean, there's no way that so it'll pretty much, in my opinion, pretty much turn into when LeBron's first year in the Lakers got there. When that's when he was like, yo, I need the pieces.
Right. I can't do this.
Because that first season was, what does he have around him? What can he play with?
Right.
So now that there's no Anthony Davis, it pretty much is a repeat of this first season with the Lakers. Now, what do you have around you? I mean,
so here's the thing. So do you, for the trade deadline, go out and get somebody?
I said that they should have did that a while ago. I mean, what about shout out
Bill
to
going there?
So Bill's not going nowhere.
It's up in the air, man. When you hear some reports, you hear different reports, and sometimes it sounds like the reports saying he's leaning towards leaving out of DC. Then you hear other reports saying he's going to stay. So
no, trust me, I'm with you. I mean, you can't.
So we don't know.
You got to take a grain of salt with it.
You don't know how. So here's another point or piece I want to add to that. Russell Westbrook, he was in OKC, right? Then he went from there to Houston, and him and
1 year,
James Harden didn't work out, right?
Yeah.
Now he goes to DC. Now you see him Bill. Now I'm not saying it is his fault, but is it a Russell Westbrook issue also?
I mean, cats don't seem to stay.
You know what I'm saying?
Paul George went to OKC,
right?
And then what happened lasted 2 years maybe.
He's I'm out. So with that being said, could that be the thing or the catalyst that push him out of DC? Like, I'm getting tired of playing with my man. Because in his mind, I mean, from what I hear, because I don't really know what's in his mind, but in his mind, it seems like he wants that. I want to be loyal to DC. I want to be loyal to them. I want to
make it happen here.
Make it happen. Bring them a championship. This and that. But at the same time, if it's being there's some toxicity going on.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't really heard anything of that nature.
Right.
Because to me, when you keep seeing reports that he's okay with staying, then maybe everything's all good in DC land. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But here's if I'm Bradley Beal, if you want to stay in DC, cool. But John Wall's gone. He's out of there. For years it was him and John Wall, and then John Wall will always get hurt. So then it ended up being Bradley Beal.
Right.
So he's used to being in that mindset that is about, my performance is how far the team's going to go.
Right.
But the only problem is there's really never been much around Bradley Beal.
That's another issue with DC. I was probably bringing him up for the Lakers, but since we're on that too, that's the whole issue with DC is they never have the pieces around him to build. So that goes back to why should you stay?
What's keeping you loyal?
Keeping you there? I understand you want to be loyal. I understand you want to bring a championship there, but they're not going to do what they need to do to help you.
Same thing Kemba Walker was doing.
Right. Why you going to say?
You
only got so much time that your body is going to hold up. You know what I'm saying? To keep you playing at a high level every year.
That's usually what happens with small markets when they have at least one superstar on their team.
Right.
Well, okay, so I'm considering Bradley Beal superstar because he can be top 25.
He's been in the All-Star.
Yeah, but I'm saying I would put him in the top 25 of all the players in the NBA. So so that's what happens is same thing that was like I said with Kemba Walker in Charlotte. He was the Hornets superstar.
Right.
But MJ's like, look, I can give you the max deal, but I can't put much around you. I want you to go get your bread. Go somewhere that's going to get you your money and still have a team around you. That's why he went to Boston. Unfortunately, that situation hasn't really panned out. He didn't, in my opinion, he hasn't brought Boston Celtics a step closer to a championship.
No.
Because they haven't. But
I think Kemba Walker's window is closed.
Yeah.
Unless he just hap up on something, real special, I think his window's closed.
Honestly, I don't think his window's closed. It'll go as far as Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum take it. Because they've already shown that they are the pieces to start building around Boston.
I understand that, but I'm saying,
and they're young.
Yeah, but what in Boston? Boston's a peculiar team. When they had that one push and they missed the finals. I forgot what year. Is that 3 years ago?
When Cleveland went, yeah.
Yeah, I think that right there, that following year, they didn't put the pieces they need to help them get over that hump. I think now,
because they had that run.
I think that window was kind of closing on them too. Now I said it's closed.
Oh no,
but it's closing.
See, but that's what I'm saying. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they're battle tested. They went to that Eastern Conference Finals against Bron. They've been to the playoffs following years after that, and then of course that run when they went to the ECF against LeBron and them, they pretty much did that without Kyrie.
Right.
So there was something to build on. And then the Gordon Hayward signing didn't work out. He got injured, and in that situation, he just never integrated into the team.
Right.
So, but what I'm saying is Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have showed that at an early age in years, but in years of it, in basketball terms, puts them ahead. You know what I'm saying? Makes them more mentally ready for, pressure situations in the playoffs because they've been there.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Build around them, and Kemba should be able, still has the talent enough to, just add. You don't need, this is not Charlotte no more. He doesn't need to be the feature, and I hope he understands that. because he's not the featured player like that anymore.
Right.
I'm hoping that he understands that, because he's not the number one option anymore. And if Boston can figure that out, I think they could make a run in the East. So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't honestly just, I'm not retracting what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there's obstacles for Brooklyn in the East.
Yeah, but I still see them coming out the East. I just can't see none of them actually.
When it comes down to talent, it's hard to beat that. You're right.
I can't see nobody actually beating them, man.
I mean, and that's pretty much what I'm still riding with the Knicks, not the Knicks, but the Nets on that.
Right.
Is because, eventually, talent can get you so far. But while in the mix of that, start building that chemistry to make you a team, and you're not just talented, you're a talented team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And especially with, Kyrie pretty much saying, "Hey, I'm the shooting guard, you the point." The other day with James Harden, like literally just saying it,
right?
Like rectifying and establishing a role at that point in that moment. Like, hey, James, you the point. I'm the shooter. Let's go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They're going to need more moments like that and actually communicate that out, because, like I said, they still need to form that chemistry, especially with all three of them together. They haven't really been able to play together a lot since the trade. And I'm worried about that. And then, KD's missing a couple of games now. That was not just, them trying to get chemistry. Now it's starting to look like little knick-knack injuries now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how this pans out. But like I said, I'm still gonna stick on my pick, Brooklyn and the Lakers, man. I just can't see no one beating them. I just can't see no one beating them, man.
I hear you.
I mean, like I said, we don't know how injuries gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Injuries happen all the time.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, barring any injuries, I don't see no one beating them.
Yeah.
No one.
And I can't remember. I think shout out to the Man Down podcast, because if y'all can find this tape, I would hope y'all could, because I swear I said on their show in the comment that the Lakers should go ahead and try to. Matter of fact, it was after they won the bubble championship. I pretty much, kind of made a statement that they should go ahead and try to get a third piece that can be a buffer, just in case the situation with Anthony Davis getting hurt.
Right.
Because my thing is, that wasn't a surprise.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, he's been dealing with the same issues when he was down in New Orleans. That's why I was like, why not have, a third option?
Backup. I agree with you, bro.
Prepare yourself.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like, am I nuts for thinking like that?
No, man. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. But I want to bring this up.
Yeah.
I was watching something about the NCAA.
Okay.
And they was talking about the blue bloods of the NCAA. I think it's 1961. This will be the first time you won't see Duke, Kentucky, UNC,
and Kansas.
Michigan State, and Kansas won't even be in the tournament. That right there.
That's at stake.
Right. Since 1961,
wow.
You don't see none of those teams. Those teams always in the tournament. Always. As much as I hate Michigan State, but they part of blue blood. They part of it.
You know what? This is the reason why they should have never did the one and done. Just think about it.
They'll get a chance to build a dynasty.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's because every year you're replenishing talent. Yes, you're going to get the best recruiting classes, but you're trying to build a team chemistry,
right?
And because I think they may play like 32 games. It's not like the NBA where there's 82 games. You can go in quarters and try to build on something.
Right.
You literally have to come out as a team from the get-go and already hitting on 100.
Right.
And that's hard to do just because you got all the talent. Like I said, talent can only take you so far. Mm-hmm. But you have to be the best team in tournament play. March Madness is not about the most talented team. It's the most complete team. Because you may have all the talent in the world, but that's why Cinderella upsets happen every year. You weren't the best team at that moment.
Right.
And if you're not the best team on a one and done situation, good luck.
Mm-hmm. I think too. So a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the fact these blue bloods won't be there, and and some people talk about the marketability of a championship. Yeah. Well, not a tournament, but even when you get down to the Final Four or the championship game, and you don't have recognizable, marketable teams there, will it be watched?
It'll still be watched.
Here's my thing. Well, that too.
People need something to watch.
I remember when you seen college like George Mason,
and Florida Gulf Coast,
right? And they went. That was intriguing to me.
Yeah,
and that made me watch even more.
Yeah,
I want to see how far they're gonna go. So I think
with Steph Curry and Davidson.
Oh my God!
Right. So I gotta watch this.
Yeah, so it made you want to watch, and not only that, George Mason. Because they went back a couple of times, they became a household name. Remember?
A VCU. Yeah.
They was a household name.
Shaka Smart. Shaka.
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. Yeah.
Was a sorry team at first.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Now they're a powerhouse.
So, I mean.
I didn't even think of that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you say, who is these people?
Yeah.
Where is that at? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know Gonzaga.
I didn't realize that
they was in Washington.
what's name played there?
John Stockton.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's where he came from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for real, it's like, so I think that here's the problem I see, and I talk about this in all walks of life, but since we talk particularly about sports, there's a time in life where things move on. Mm-hmm. And those who are in certain positions, they don't recognize that change, that transition. And not recognizing that transition, sometimes they get overtook. Mm-hmm. Now, we know that NCAA is a big behemoth. So I'm not saying that they may get overtaken, but they may miss out on a wave that's coming. You know what I'm saying? Because things happen. Things change, and it may not be about the blue bloods anymore. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, people start getting interested in some of these smaller schools.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that, in that you don't worry about that. You push what you have. And I think if you push what you have, push the story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a storyline right there when you see University of Tumbleweed State. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Tumbleweed State.
You know what I'm saying? When you see them,
they never heard of that school.
And you push that story like, look how far they going. Hey, they didn't shoot. They had to go get their own ice for the ice bath. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The coach live on site. You know, that kind of thing.
He living on campus.
You know, they so small. You know what I'm saying? They the only thing in town.
Look, he the basketball coach, the janitor,
right.
the AD. You know what
I'm saying? So you push that storyline.
Got 3 hats and get 1 paycheck.
You know what I'm saying? and people follow that.
Now they do.
And people follow that. They're like, oh man,
they like
that's
an underdog story.
Like an underdog story.
Everybody loves an underdog story.
I think focusing too much on the Dukes and the Kentuckys and the Michigan States and UNCs not being there is a mistake.
Enjoy the sport.
Enjoy the sport. Push the sport. You know, look at NASCAR.
Yeah.
I think NASCAR is actually pushing the sport more and more, where they probably are getting new viewership.
I think they changed their marketing scheme.
They have.
They had to.
I mean, now Michael Jordan's in NASCAR.
An owner.
You You know what I'm saying?
A majority owner of a NASCAR team.
Right, you got Bubba Watson in there.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace.
Wallace. Bubba Wallace in there.
So you bring him up. Mm-hmm. So of course we remember, the news in his garage and all that mess and all that stuff last year.
Right.
I bring that up to bring this up. So there wasn't a lot of viewership from the minority area, minority market,
right?
That was watching, golf. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then you get Tiger Woods,
right?
Who is a minority. He was half Asian, half black,
right?
But he literally brought two demographics of viewership to the game of golf,
right?
So you bring the Asian market, which is made up of billions of people, which that worked out in the PGA's advantage, and then you get the the viewership from some black people. Because I'm not gonna lie, before Tiger Woods, I didn't pay attention to golf.
You got a lot of black people interested in playing golf. You had a lot of black people start enrolling in golf.
Yes,
a lot of black people started doing a lot of things.
Our spending power.
Let me say this: I knew of black people that played golf.
Of course,
I'm not saying
no.
My aunt played golf. My uncles played golf.
No, but I'm saying I'm not doing.
I'm just trying to bring up a point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's not what we're saying.
Yeah,
but we're saying with the inception of Tiger into golf,
yes,
it brought
more
viewership from those demographics. Especially when you considering black people in golf.
Yeah,
golf was always like.
It was for the rich.
It's on CBS, and I'd be flick 'em.
Well, no, I mean, just
flick 'em. It was always for people who had money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So, yeah, I think Tiger Woods has done a lot to bring more eyes to golf. But think about this.
He won, though.
That too. But this goes back to what I was saying. They pushed that storyline.
Yes, they did. They pushed that narrative.
Fall in love with that storyline. Yeah. That's going back to what I was saying about the NCAA. When you have something, push that storyline.
Yeah.
Like going back to Bubba.
That was my whole correlation with this thing.
I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
Okay. Tag team back again. Scoop dance. Hey, my little girl love that commercial. She come in dancing. That is Scoop dance. Hey, that commercial.
But going back to what you were saying with Bubba, and even what I was saying too before, NASCAR is doing some things that's actually trying to bring viewership to. They got rid of the Confederate flag.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing. That was their biggest move.
Right, and so now people who were offended by that feel more welcome to come out and watch that. Now here's the thing. I got a friend, white guy.
Yeah.
We had a discussion about the Confederate flag, and I'm not gonna go into all that about it. I'm just using a portion of this for a point. Mm-hmm. And so we had a discussion about that, and in his eyes, he didn't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
So the reason why I brought that up is because I'm not saying that everybody that was in NASCAR waving that flag were racist.
Yeah.
They were just like he was. They didn't understand a lot of
the history,
nuances behind why people of color didn't like that. And so to take that out was like, a olive branch to bring other people in. Now, you have to, I think as entertainment venues like NASCAR, you have to recognize that and say, okay, this is bigger than that because we can bring more eyes, more demographics, which brings more dollars into our sport.
Yeah, because the end goal is the dollars.
Right.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. That's what it is.
Yeah, we're not going to ignore that.
You have to,
let's not ignore that.
Executive of these sports, you have to realize that I'm not saying you have to cater to everything and everybody because some things you're not going to be able to cater to.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
You're not going to make everybody happy.
But when there's something like a small gesture like that can bring you in more viewership, or more owners, like Jordan being in there.
Yeah.
Imagine you bring more owners. It don't have to necessarily be black owners. Just more owners from different demographics.
Yeah.
That may bring other viewership. Now, people will watch NASCAR because Jordan's in it now. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan.
Oh, Jordan.
Let's see what Jordan doing.
Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna front. I watched the Daytona 500 yesterday.
See what I'm saying? So it's like those things you have to realize.
I ain't watched older than anything long as hell.
It's long.
And they had a 5-hour rain delay. All right, so
it's still on.
Hey, but they had the rain delay and they finished up.
Right.
So I watched the last. I've seen I saw maybe the last 80 laps. Mm-hmm. But then the excitement when you get to the final lap, or
right.
And with the commentating helps because they're educating at the same time,
right?
Which you may not always get with the NFL or the NBA,
right?
The NASCAR industry is literally trying to get viewers, so they're explaining, and you really think about it, it's almost a team effort, but you still have solo, accolades,
right?
There's certain teams with the certain sponsors and the owners that own the cars. Man, that shit expensive, bro.
I had a guy stayed across the street from me.
Yeah.
And he was in the stock car racing.
Yeah.
And, he was backed by Tommy Hearns, and they had money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, I would go there and see the cars. And that kind of got me a little bit into, let me see that.
Yeah.
Looking at the car and all that stuff. And I'm always noisy.
Yeah.
He started, it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what see? But, I would say I was lucky enough to kind of see that from a hands-on standpoint. Now I want to say this. Yesterday was the anniversary of the death of Dale Earnhardt.
Yep.
And
everybody threw the threes on lap 3.
Right.
Yeah.
And so since 2001, I think it was, and his death, NASCAR made safety changes to the game.
Oh yeah.
And so those safety changes prevented deaths. I think they said they haven't had any deaths since then.
It's been a minute.
So I think that right there should be applauded for NASCAR.
Well, I mean, you lose an iconic
because he was
face.
Superman when it came to NASCAR. I mean, I knew who he was.
Everybody,
and I didn't even watch NASCAR.
Everybody knew who Dale Earnhardt was.
You knew the glasses and the mustache. You knew
it's because they marketed a image and they marketed a winner, and that's what I'm saying with Bubba Wallace. For him to be in this moment, I'm not saying he has to win to make this seem legit,
right?
For minorities to prosper.
He was in he finished 17th, I think.
Yeah. He
like in the middle of the pack.
Well, no, because he got in that last little big car pileup at the end of the final lap. Because pretty much the final lap ended on caution, and so it was a crazy wreck, bro. Like I'm like, damn, like flames, like
now imagine they didn't end it and haven't put those safety protocols in there. You could have had some tragic deaths there.
Because these guys are going 200 miles per hour, bro.
I think it was like 3 point or 2 point something G-force or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but it's a lot of force they experience in those cars. And, you know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, these guys literally can die every time they go out. Like, it's nuts.
Right.
It's a game of chicken.
But
I mean, it's interesting because it had a little drama. Even golf had a little drama. Guy walked off on a 33-foot eagle putt. Like, geez. So I mean, and it goes back to your storyline of marketability. So, but the common denominator is people winning. Tiger Woods won. He brought eyes from the Asian demographic, from the black demographic, but he won. He made it legit that you don't always have to look like the norm to be dominant.
Right.
Same with Serena.
Yeah.
She brought eyes to tennis.
Right.
But she did, and Venus, because Venus was winning before Serena.
Right.
So they did the same thing, bringing eyes to the sport, but they won. Bubba is going to bring eyes to the game of NASCAR.
Right.
But to like solidify it, to literally put that nail in like hammer it down. He needs to win,
Right.
and that'll flood the gates open for viewership for NASCAR to get different eyes. What's the biggest spending dollar in America? Black money. You want to get your hands on that money? I'm not saying that like maneuver some shit around to make sure Bubba wins.
No,
That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But it'll be very beneficial to them to make sure Bubba is a winner.
I mean, just if you just market it right, I think that's all you really need. Because I mean,
You'd be like the Dale Jr.
right? You know what I'm saying?
Because
Dale Jr. didn't win a lot.
He didn't win a lot,
But people know who he was.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? If you didn't know NASCAR, you still knew about Dale Earnhardt Jr.
yep,
So it's really about marketability.
That's right.
I don't think, and not to say winning won't help, but I think it's more about the marketing of it, the marketing of him, the marketing of NASCAR.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've seen some commercials. I like that. I like what they're doing because so NASCAR is pushing NHL.
they need to do the same thing.
They need to do the same thing because you don't really. I think about now. I don't watch a lot of TV like I used to.
Yeah,
So, but I even think about even like ads that I do see. I don't see a lot of NHL ads.
no,
Even when the big quote unquote big games happen, you don't see a lot of push for those big games like you do with the NBA, like you do with MLB, like you do with NFL. When October come around, you know it's playoff time for baseball.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because you hear it about all the time.
yeah.
You hear about the All-Star game. You hear about those things. NHL All-Star
It's
game,
funny.
you very seldom hear about
And
it.
it's funny that you brought up baseball because the way that I see them market their players from the NHL, you get more of their young stars, your young phenoms that have different personalities. Like Fernando Tatis Jr. for San Diego, he's on the Gatorade commercials.
Right.
Bryce Harper have done commercials, stuff like that. You know, even just pushing their product on their video games like MLB The Show. You know, they're doing stuff like that to still draw in eyes, even if it's through the video game. But you know what I'm saying? They're marketing their players, their personalities.
Right. I think with NHL,
Yeah.
the only ones, I mean, besides Gretzky, I know they did a lot of commercials outside of, being in Edmonton, outside being in LA.
Yeah.
It was Gretzky. Like, for me, only commercial I was seeing hockey players in was local commercials. Like here where we at now, when I was in Detroit, I was seeing Eiserman doing commercials and some other people doing commercials. But I was local to Michigan.
Yeah.
And some of the Hurricanes, I see them do local stuff here to North Carolina.
Yeah.
But you don't really see
They
national
won a
commercials.
Stanley Cup too.
Oh yeah, see that helps. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, winning cures a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, so I think that marketing helps with a lot of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
But now I think it's time for the point everybody likes.
Oh yeah.
The one that we all been waiting for.
Yeah. We got some. Well, you know what? I think you got some because I'm good. I'm feeling good. It's been a week since Super Bowl, so I'm all drained.
Yeah, drained out.
I'm good.
Say it with your chest, little ass nigga.
To get it off your chest.
Melly Mel, you got some on your chest. I'm good this week.
You good this week?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get mine off my chest.
Yeah, ride with it, big boy.
So here's the thing. I've been hearing a lot about this Urban Meyer situation. And, him bringing in Doyle and people been talking back and forth why would he do that, and talking about Urban Meyer made a mistake, and I can't see how he made this mistake. But here's the problem I see. A mistake is an event. I think what he had was a character flaw. And there's a difference between a mistake and a character flaw. A character flaw is a lifestyle that creates a toxic environment. A mistake requires forgiveness, where a character flaw requires boundaries in some cases, and in other cases, total elimination. It's interesting because when you look at like philosophy about character flaw, about virtue, you think about Aristotle and his virtual theory. He kind of bring up the idea of, we have this innate ability to be good. And, the analogy is if you have a knife, a sharp knife does what's supposed to do. It cuts. When it's dull, you either sharpen it or you get rid of it. People talks about virtue from a standpoint of it is something that's in us. It's something that makes a man fit and able to do what he's created to do. Now, tie that back into Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer didn't make a mistake. Urban Meyer showed his character flaw. And that right there requires either total elimination of that, you know what I'm saying, or it requires him to have some kind of boundaries in between whatever he showed, the person he had a conflict with. So here's the thing. When you look at him from Florida,
Aaron Hernandez,
right?
Ignoring that. When you looked at the stuff that happened in Ohio State, ignoring the domestic abusing coach,
right? Though it doesn't show that there's any kind of elimination there. That character flaw still exists.
I see a trend.
Right. There's a trend going on. There's a pattern here.
Wow.
So when you talking about, well, maybe he might have learned his lesson, he hasn't eliminated the flaw yet.
Burn, burn.
You know what I'm saying? The flaw still exists. So the question is raised. So the question is raised.
Preaching to him, bro.
Is Urban Meyer going to be a success in the NFL? I think Exhibit A has already been shown with Doyle. And what it shows is pointing back to past transgressions. I go about to use mistake. Past character flaws. You know what I'm saying? Where there's nothing changed there. So if he's bringing that same toxicity
to Jacksonville,
and now you didn't put a wall up between your minority players. Well, I'm sorry, your black players, because they the majority of the league. So your black players, or even the white players who see what you did as wrong. You didn't put a wall up already right there. So now you already came in with the air of mystery, like, is he gonna be good? What's he gonna be like? Blah blah blah. Now you didn't show
so many question marks already.
Now you didn't show your joker. You showed your ace already. We seen your hand.
Yeah, no more spades, bro.
Oh, you out of spades, man. I'm about to run this. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't show your hand.
Oh yeah.
Now, am I saying that he can't make a 360?
Yeah.
The opportunity for anyone to change is always there.
Yeah.
Let's go back to what I said, what Aristotle said, and how people talk about virtue. The ability to do right is in each and every one of us. It's an innate ability to do right. So the opportunity is there, but he doesn't show an affinity to lean towards the opportunity to change.
I hear you.
So I'm not going to say that I convict him yet.
Yeah.
But the case is growing tighter and tighter on
question marks keep getting
bigger. On Urban Meyer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but for me, he's not passing the eye test.
No, already.
Yeah, he's already not passing the eye test.
His downfall is this is the NFL,
right?
You don't get to recruit and handpick all your talent.
Right.
You got to deal with what's there.
And hopefully they can attract. You're not dealing with 17 to 20-year-old
dealing
kids.
With men
you're dealing with grown men.
Yeah.
Who not looking like you deal with college players. They're looking into a standpoint. Well, I don't want to mess up this opportunity to get my bag. They got their bag. So they're not looking. So you have a different approach that you have to use with them. They don't question you.
Yeah.
Like before, you was the emperor. So it's like I can't go against him. Now it's like, we give you respect as you show us respect.
Hey, the NFL is more like, I think some coaches need done this. That's why they have certain disciplinary problems in the NFL.
Right.
because now the talent is necessary at the NFL. You need me.
Right. You have to have me.
You have to have me.
Right, because we are a direct connection to your job.
To your success.
Now, it's not to say that losing in college didn't affect coach's job, but in college, you can lose longer in some cases, than in the NFL. NFL, 1 or 2 years, sometimes
you gotta.
That's it. You ain't producing.
Hello, as Doug Peterson. I was a Super Bowl winning coach 3 years ago.
Right.
And you fired me. Yeah.
Right. Bye. I mean, look at so we can go down the line.
Yeah, you go down the line
and name coaches. So Urban Meyer needs to get his thing together.
Hit it again, say it
with your chest, little ass nigga.
Hey, that was a good segment. That was good. You brought up some real valid points, man. Because I mean that I hit it on my midnight episode. Mm-hmm. I had to talk about it because I'm like, this is crazy. Right. Anyway, everybody, we thank y'all for joining.
Appreciate you.
Another episode of I.o.w Sports.
Right.
It was our 27th episode. Man, we grinding.
We grinding, boy.
We grinding. We getting up there. Of course, go over to www.ioften119.com.
Right.
Check out all the information we got going on. Philip Riddick, Arbot, Benny Cooks, Melly Mel, Detroit Mel over here. He got Bonfire, J. Edward Collection.
Right.
Of course, Black Barbara Watts is our sister Lex Bubble. We still loving on you, sis. Take care of your little situations. We got your back. Holler at us anytime. You know that. Y'all can holler at her for your sweet treats. Millie J Sweet Treats. Get all your red velvet cake, pound cake, chocolate cake, all that goodness, all the sweetness. And of course, in the Triangle area, holler at your boy mattmax.net for all your catering needs. That's going to conclude an episode. Be nice, generous, loving, caring to each other out there, world.
Peace.
We out. Chill.